One. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Jenks podcast. Crazy weekend. Draft happened, concluded. Some teams got better, some teams got worse. We're going to break it down for you guys. We're going to give each team a grade, and then at the end, we're going to give our favorite pick, the steal of the draft, and the worst pick, the pick that we did not like, that we despised. Jenks has won in the first round. Division opponent. I know it's coming. So we're going to get right into it. Let's go.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast, bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
Hey, here we go!
Get right into our AFC grades. So I'm going to start with the AFC North. The Ravens are the first team on the list here. They had a solid draft. I'm going to give them a B. So they got Nate Wiggins, but the thing with Nate Wiggins, in my opinion, is he was picked ahead of Cooper DeJean, which I was a little bit surprised by. Hammer wasn't. Hammer kind of saw DeJean go into the second round, but I just think Nate Wiggins is so small. And after seeing what happened with the Commanders last year with Emmanuel Forbes, it was just an iffy pick with him going there. And it was a little bit of not a reach necessarily, but I was just surprised to see him pick him. And then Roger Rosengarten, Adisa Isaac, Tez Walker, and TJ Tampa, all of them are solid picks, but nothing insane, but it fits their needs. So I'm going to give them a B. The Browns, they really didn't have many draft picks. They're still hurting from the Deshaun Watson trade, obviously. But they came out with Michael Hall Jr. and Zach Sinter as their two main picks. And that's just not going to do it for a lot of teams. That's not a great draft. It's going to be a C minus at most. Bengals, I'm going to give them a B+. I like their draft. The key guys that came away with are Amarius Mims, a great, solid tackle, and he's huge. He's going to be a little bit development, but that's a great pick for Joe Burrow. Chris Jenkins, a defensive tackle. He's a good, solid pick. And then Jermaine Burton, another weapon for Joe Burrow, with T. Higgins likely leaving. Then to finish this division, we got the Steelers. I'm going to give them an A-. They had a solid draft as well. You got Troy Fautanu coming in, can do a lot of things across the line. Zach Frazier, Roman Wilson, and Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson fell due to injury concerns. Hammer talked to me about that a little bit, where he's has no ACL or MCL, one of the two. And that's going to tank your draft stock. But that's a steal for the Steelers in the fourth round. I think they got him, fourth or fifth round. So
Late
third. Late third. So solid picks for the Steelers, and I'm going to give them A-.
Two things. I would give the Ravens an A-, and I would give the Steelers an A. I think the Steelers had the best draft, and I love the Ravens draft. So that's just me.
I don't mind it. We're going to differ. Obviously, everyone's going to differ a little bit. How they view these impacts of the players, but yeah.
All right, so moving on to the AFC South. We're going to start with the Tennessee Titans. First pick, 7th overall. A little bit of surprise, J.C. Latham. I don't know if anyone really saw him being a top 10 pick. So to me, that was a reach. And then another reach, started the second round, Devondre Sweat, who I think got was it a DUI or something a couple of weeks before the draft. How's that guy go early second round, pick 38? I don't know about that. I guess I know Titans want to get bigger up front and control the line of scrimmage, but I don't know. Questionable picks. I think you could have traded back for JC. And then I like the Cedric Gray pick they made in the fourth round. He's a good linebacker. But overall, I'm going to give him a B-. Wasn't the biggest fan. Next, Jacksonville Jaguars. They got Brian Thomas at 23 overall. Mason Smith, Jerrion Jones, Javon Foster, Jordan Jefferson, all really good picks. They all got him in top 4 rounds. I really like that, B+. Next, we got the Colts. They took Latu at 15, the first defensive player off the board. I like Dallas Turner better based on the injuries and things like that. I thought they were going to go corner. That's what me and Jenks thought. I thought Quinyon Mitchell or Terrion Arnold was the play for them at 15. But they took Latu. A.D. Mitchell fell to them at 52 in the second round. Got some good linemen. Overall, I like it. I'm going to give them a B. Last, we got the Texans. All right, they had no first-round pick, right? They traded back with the Vikings. The Vikings moved up, took that 23 overall. They took Kamari Lassiter in the second round. I don't like that pick. I'm not a big fan of him. Me and Jenks weren't too high on him. Blake Fisher at tackle. Kalen Bullock at safety in the third round, I believe. That's a tall, lengthy safety from USC. Not a fan of his game at all. I don't like that. And then got Cade Stover from Ohio State. That wasn't terrible in the fourth round. But overall, I'm going to give him a B-. Not a fan.
Yeah, I think the only thing I disagree with really is like the Colts I'd probably bump up to a B plus just because like they covered their needs pretty well. But yeah, I think that was a little bit surprising just with Dallas turn on the board like you said, and then
I thought they were better options than Latu. That's honestly, if they went like with one of the corners, I think it's a B plus for me.
yeah,
But I get Latu. I get Latu. I'm just not like the biggest fan.
and I'll say this really quick, like J.C. Latham, my mom, like I'm sitting there doing the draft, and my mom goes, do you think the Titans go J.C. Latham? Because she's just like reading random stuff on her phone or whatever. I'm like, why the hell would they go J.C. Latham? Because he's
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
And he comes off the board, and then I see on ESPN, like people are like, "Oh yeah, he was a top 10 prospect." I'm like, where did all this come from? I did not hear any of that talk before draft night, so it was a little bit surprising, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Then next, we got the AFC East. Solid draft boards for all these teams. The Bills come in with Keon Coleman, a receiver that I think is going to be a very great talent in the NFL, and we saw it the last few days, his interviews and everything like that. He's going to be a great character for that team, everything like that. Cole Bishop, a safety out of Utah, that Hammer and I like Cole Bishop a lot. Hammer, I think you like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a lanky.
He's guy. That's awesome. Awesome replacement for Micah Hyde. Very versatile. Do a lot of things. So
yeah, and they'll pair him up with Tyler Rapp or Taylor Rapp, whatever his first name is. Yeah, and then Ray Davis, a running back that I raved about in our running backs videos way back when. I talked to Hammer about him being just a versatile guy that can do a little bit of everything. So they pair him up with James Cook. That's a solid pick as well. Then Cedric Van Prawn is going to be a great pick for them. They picked him in like the 5th, 6th round. And this guy, I had him pretty high up on my board when we were doing interior O-line. So I like that pick a lot. I'm going to give the Bills an A. Then second team, you got the Dolphins. And
an A?
Yeah, definitely an A. The
so
Bills,
that's like
Bills, there's an A+. There's an A+ still available, but they're getting an A.
Okay.
Dolphins, they come in with Chop Robinson, a pick like 21, which was surprising to me. I think that was a little bit higher than I thought him going. I thought they were going to go Latu or something like that. I think when we did our mocks and everything like that. But once Chop Robinson was like the only edge available, I think.
Yeah, they went fast.
Jared Verse might have been available still. I think he was. Where did he go? I'm blanking. He went to. I think he was after the Dolphins, but
23. I'll look it up.
Either way, I think Chop Robinson was a little bit of a reach there, but Patrick Paul was a solid pick in the second round. Jalen Wright, another speedy player for them to mess around with. Muhammad Kamara, a solid edge. So they got away with 2 solid edges, even though they already have a deep edge class. And then Malik Washington, my buddy Ethan Davies, I'll shout him out real quick. He's a receiver on the UVA team as well. I think he was good friends with Malik Washington, but I messaged him. I was like, "Is this Tyreek Hill's replacement after Tyreek leaves?" And he was like, "Possibly, I don't know." But anyways. The Bills, I'm going to give them a B. I don't love them going on 2 edges when they already have a.
You said Bills. Say Dolphins.
Oh, I thought I said Dolphins.
Good.
Giving the Dolphins a B. I think that going 2 edges when they already have a deep edge class just kind of hurts their draft class, in my opinion. They could have gotten a little bit more talent somewhere in there. Possibly.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with enough edges. And by the way, Verse went 19. So yes, all the edges were off the board to before the Dolphins were up.
Then I just think you go a different position there. I don't know. I think you could improve a little bit somewhere else, but it's still a solid pick. I'm not going to hate on him for it, but B is not a bad draft grade at all. Then we got the Patriots coming out with Drake May, Jalen Polk, as well as Joe Milton in one of the later rounds. I'm just shouting at the top guys that have really pop off the list. Drake May, obviously we talked about him. If he has to start week 1, I don't know how that's going to work out very well for the Patriots, but I think they might start Jacoby Brissett for a few weeks, see how that goes. Jalen Polk, Ned Stimson, when we had a receiver episode, was very high on him. Said he could be like a next underrated gem out of the receiver class. And then Joe Milton, taking a quarterback is in this later rounds. I think they're going to eye him as a hybrid guy because I don't think they're going to take him in and have him as a starter above Drake May or like view him as a possible starter over Drake May, anything like that, because that would kill Drake May's confidence. Then finally, we got the Jets with Alu Fashanu. Love that pick. Malachi Corley, the Yak God. Braylon Allen, a huge running back that Hammer and I think might not be the greatest, but his size definitely gives him an advantage. Jordan Travis, a little bit of flashbacks to the Jordan Love pick for Aaron Rodgers. And then Isaiah Davis, another running back out of he's out of North Dakota State. So all in all, I'm going to give the Jets an A+ here. The Jets had a great draft class. I love this class for them. Alu Fashanu, great protection for for Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, he needed that from last year. Didn't get it. And then we all saw what happens. And then Malachi Corley, like I said, the Yak God. I love Malachi. I was looking for the Saints to possibly take him in the second round. Obviously, that didn't happen. And then Braylon Allen, Jordan Travis, and Isaiah Davis are all solid picks for the future of the Jets team.
Yeah, I don't have any A pluses because my thing, there's no such thing as an A plus draft until until 4+ years, see how they're panned out. Let's go to the AFC West, starting with the Chargers. Joe Alt at 5, which that was kind of a surprise pick to some people. Not really. I knew they were gonna go with the big boy if they didn't trade back, just because that's the type of offense they're gonna run, man. They're gonna be running the football. Lad McConkey at the second round, Junior Colson in that third round, got Cam Hart pretty late, and then they got Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, I believe in the 6th, 7th round. So yeah, what?
It was the 7th. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, 7th. So all around good drafts. B plus. I thought maybe they go with a better receiver. I don't know. Lad's but he's gonna be really good with Herbert. I don't know. I like some other guys on the board though, but B plus for them. Moving on with the Chiefs, Xavier Worthy, they got in the first round. Kingsley Suamatatea from BYU, the good tackle. Second round, Jaden Hicks, who we're going to get into later, but I feel like that's one of the big steals in the draft. I had him as like a late round 2 safety. He goes round 4. Really good draft for the Chiefs, B plus. Going with the Broncos, Bo Nix, a little bit of a reach. Felt like they could have traded back and gotten him. Jonah Ellis, Troy Franklin, Audric Estime late. B for me. I think if they trade back and get some more picks, right? Add to that second, third round. You get Bo Nix too. That could bump it up to a B plus, A minus, depending on who they get. And then the last team we got is the Raiders. Brock Bowers at 13, bit of a surprise after getting Michael Mayer last year in the draft, but you take the best player available, him and Devontae. Next they get Jackson Powers-Johnson, JPJ. In the second round, best interior offensive lineman. Nothing really else besides that. Looked in the list, nothing else really jumps out at you, but you get 2 of the top kind of offensive prospects, right? At their position, tight end, interior offensive line. Nothing else that really, makes you go nuts over. So I'm going to go with a B. Nothing crazy. All Bs. 2 B pluses to the Chargers and Chiefs in the AFC West. I'm a tough grader.
I think I'll agree with you through all these picks. I think the Chargers, I put out a video saying how I was surprised by the Joel pick. Someone got really mad saying, oh, he was generational talent. Malik Nabers isn't. I'm like, but in my opinion, like Malik Nabers, you put him with Justin Herbert, like he could be a generational talent. That's just that's how I view it. As you put a great receiver with a guy like Justin Herbert, then I think that does a lot of things for that team. But yeah, you're right. They did need a tackle, especially with Harbaugh coming over. It's going to be their running game that really puts them in a lot of game-winning positions. And then for the final team, who was the last team you discussed?
Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders. I think Brock Bowers is a good pick for them. It was obviously a surprise that he fell to them and then they took him. But I think with no quarterbacks that they loved being there, I think that's a good pick. You're getting weapons for whoever your quarterback's going to be. Most likely Gardner Minshew this year. And Jackson Powers-Johnson, we've raved about in our interior lineman video. Him falling to them in the second round, perfect picks. So I love their draft class.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 picks they're good picks. I mean, they kind of fell to you, but besides that, through the late day 2 and day 3, nothing that good.
Yeah, so that'll do it for the AFC. We're going to take a quick break and then get into the NFC right after this.
All right, starting with the NFC, we got the NFC West. 4th pick overall, Marvin Harrison Jr. A+ pick in my opinion. Can't get much better than that. I didn't like the second first round pick though, in Darius Robinson from Missouri. I think that was a bit of a reach. I think he's an early to mid round 2 guy, but you get Max Melton 2 in the second round. I really like that pick, brother of Bo Melton. You get Trey Benson, who in my opinion was the best running back in the draft. You get Elijah Jones, corner from Boston College, not bad. Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, safety in the 4th round, who I was really high on. I like him a lot. Texas Tech. Xavier Thomas, linebacker from Clemson's really good in the 5th round, I believe. No, 4th round. And then Christian Jones in the 5th round from Texas, tackle. That was a really good pick. That was a steal. A lot of people thought he was like a round 3 pick. So I'm going A- for the Cardinals. Would be an A. Would be a perfect draft if they did better with that second first-round pick, in my opinion. Moving on to the Rams. Jared Verse at 19. Braden Fisk, they traded up for in the 2nd round. Blake Corum, Cameron Kitchens, Tyler Davis from Clemson D tackle, I really like. But all around, I mean, those first 3-4 picks, really big splashes. One of my favorite draft classes of this year. I'm giving them an A, which for me is my top grade. Next, San Fran. They go Ricky Pearsall. Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall, yeah.
I don't know about that pick. I don't know. I think that was a little bit of a reach, in my opinion.
Is it because he's white?
No, I'm white. That doesn't even make any sense, Jenks. No, a little bit of a reach for me. I think there is some better guys on the board. Dominic Puny, though, in the 3rd round, I really like that pick. Malik Mustafa in the 4th round, I like that pick. They get a really good running back from Louisville. Isaiah, fast kid.
Yeah, he's a dog.
I like their draft. I'm not the biggest fan of the first 2 picks, but I'm going to give them a B. And then you got the Seattle Seahawks, Byron Murphy, Christian Haynes, Trace Knight, A.J. Barner, DJ James from Auburn, defensive back, really late. I like their draft. I'm going to give them a B+.
Okay. It's not bad. Not bad. I think the Cardinals, I love their draft. Like you said, the 2nd pick, the Darius Robinson, is not great. And obviously the running back that they picked up, Benson, that hurts James Conner.
Like my opinion, you can go with Darius Robinson over Johnny Newton. Come on.
No. Yeah. See, that was a bit like, that's something that was surprising me. But I think James Conner is definitely pissed off because he had a great year to end the year, and then they pick a running back to kind of signify we're trying to replace you. So it kind of sucks for him, but it's the right move for the Cardinals. Then I think the Rams, their class is amazing, like you said. Their D line,
it's one of the best classes.
Immediately the D line, but Kyron Williams is going to be a little bit pissed because they took Blake Corum. A lot of people who I believe he could have been a top running back in the class. He's just a dog. He's undersized. Obviously, that kind of hurts him a little bit, but he could be up there. And I guess they're going to try to go for that 2-headed monster look. So we'll see what they do. Anyways, Hammers division, NFC North.
I saved yours last.
Oh, sorry, we'll skip it. We'll go to NFC East. We'll go to NFC East. I got the Cowboys coming in number 1. Tyler Guyton. Marshawn Neiland.
Number 1?
No, not number 1. I mean,
I was going to say.
Marshawn Neiland and Cooper Beebe. I'm going to give it a B. Tyler Guyton's a solid pick. I think he still needs a little bit of work, but at Oklahoma, he was a great tackle, and I think he could end up being the same in Dallas with a good offensive lineman coach. Marshawn Neiland he's a solid D lineman. I don't think he's bad or by any means, but it's just obviously they took what was given to them because a lot of the edges already went. And then my favorite pick of their class, probably the underrated pick, is going to be Cooper Beebe. I think we talked about him a lot. He fits in that run scheme for them so well because he's going to go and pancake people. That's all he wants to go do. Go find work and kill him. That's his goal every play, and I think that works for that Dallas run scheme a lot. So I'm going to give him a B+, or a B, sorry. The Giants coming in with Malik Nabers, Tyler Nubin, and Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson, I'm just shouting out because I think that was it's an underrated pick, but at tight end, he's 6'6", 6'7". He can run pretty damn fast and well on routes. So that's a solid pick for that post Darren Waller era, if we're not already entering that, because he didn't really do much.
There was no era.
Yeah, the era never even.
There was
started.
no era.
Anyways, Malik Nabers, obviously, it's a solid pick, bolsters the receiver core, but who's throwing him the ball? I'm sorry, I don't really care for this pick that much because there's no one to throw it to him until they find that quarterback that's going to hit him in stride. Doesn't matter. Tyler Nubin coming in at safety. That's probably he was probably arguably the most well-rounded safety that could do a little bit of everything. And so that's a great pick for them as well with losing Xavier McKinley to the Packers. So I'm gonna give him a B plus, just because Malik Nabers is like generational receiver talent. In my opinion, I think he can be that kind of guy. They just got to find their quarterback. Second A plus so far with the Eagles, coming in with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in back-to-back rounds, as well as Will Shipley, a running back at Clemson that could be a dog, and Aeneas Smith and Johnny Wilson, 2 receivers, to just kind of give the receiving core even a little bit of a boost towards the bottom of the depth chart. I think it's a solid draft, and I think Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are just what this team needed on defense. Like, the defense it's already a good defense. They're just making it even better. So they got a lot of young talent over there on the defensive side of the ball, and I love their draft class.
Too bad their confidence is, going to go way down week 1 after that, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah. And
confidence, ruins the rookies, but we'll see.
I don't know. Maybe they'll show out for all the Brazilian chicks in the stands. Anyways.
All the Packer fans?
I don't think Packers fans are going to be as attractive as the Brazilian chicks.
What? I'm saying the Packer fans. It's going to be a home game for us.
All right, never. I was talking about the Eagles, dude, and you say, "Oh, the Packers." No, it's going to be neutral grounds.
I don't think.
Dude, there's going to be a lot of Brazilian people. Dude, it's the first NFL game.
No, but Green Bay's the more team over there by like a lot.
Okay.
It's like Jacksonville and London.
All right, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, Hammer.
It's a fact. All right, whatever.
Believe it when I see it. Anyways,
NFL.
Third A+ draft class, and probably my favorite draft class.
You're just handing these out. I mean, come on, you got to work for them. For me,
no, because it fits all the needs and their steals. Like, here we go, Commanders. The Commanders coming out right away with Jaden Daniels. Then you got Johnny Newton that fell to them in the second round. Like, who predicted that? Mike Sainristil, still probably one of my favorite safeties out of the class. A guy that can do a little bit of everything. Flies around the field. I thought he was. No, yeah, corner, and I think he's gonna move to nickel. Move to nickel. I think he's gonna move to inside in the NFL, and I think he can do a little bit of everything: play the run, play the blitz, and tackle guys making a lot of catches downfield. We talked about him a lot, and I think I comped him to C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the slot. I think that was him. So I like that pick a lot. Ben Sinnott was probably the number 2 tight end in the class on a lot of people's draft boards. Not ours. I think we had him a lot lower, but he kind of had a great combine and everything like that, so he bumped up a lot of boards. And then Luke McCaffrey, obviously runs in the genetics. We'll see how that pans out. But I picked him. I tweeted out that he could be the next possible Puka of this year. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, going back to the Cowboys real quick, you gave him a B. I feel like that's fair. I think the Cowboys, did they improve the offensive defensive line? Yes, they did. But, they needed weapons. They needed a running back. They just signed back Zeke. Congrats, I guess. They could have maybe used another receiver to complement CD. Yeah. But, yeah. Let's move on to the NFC South, my last division here. We're going to start with the Falcons, who they had probably the most questionable draft, and we'll talk about it a little bit at the end. But they go Penix at 8. That shocked a lot of people. I think like an hour before the draft, there was some buzz saying, like, watch out for Atlanta for a quarterback. They could be sneaky. I remember Ian Rappaport reporting that out. They need pass rush, right? That's the number one thing they need. They've needed it for a couple of years now. They did address it, though, these next couple of rounds. They get Rook Aurora from Clemson. They get Braylon Trice from Washington. And they get Brandon Dorless, from Oregon. So they get 3 pass rushers in a row after they get Penix. No guys that blow you away. Maybe they do in the NFL. We're just grading these right after the draft. But to have a top pick like that, spend on Penix maybe, it's questionable. And for a team that's kind of like, we can win now. We can win this division. I'm not saying win now. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl, but, they can compete and win that division, host a playoff game. So I'm going to give them a C+. I think that's fair. Could argue B-, but it was C+. Next is the Panthers. They didn't have a lot to work with, right, because last year's trade. But they trade up in the first round. They get Xavier Legette, Jonathan Brooks in the second, Trevin Wallace in the third. In the fourth round, they get Jatavion Sanders. I really like their draft. It wasn't bad. Like, for what they had to work with, I'm going B+. Next, we got the Saints, right? At 14, they get Talise Fuanga. Fuaga.
Waga, yeah.
They got Kool-Aid in the second round. They get in the fourth round. Spencer Rattler kind of falls to them. And then they get a good Texas linebacker who I liked, Jalen Ford. He's not bad. So I'm gonna give the Saints an A-. I think that's fair. I think they did a really good job.
Let's go.
Yeah, A-. So yeah. Last team I got is the Bucks. They get Graham Barton in the first round at pick 26. They get Chris Baswell, pass rusher from Alabama. Next, they get Tyke Smith in the third. Bucky Irvin, running back from Oregon, who I liked. He's fun. He's a fun tape to watch. I'm gonna give him a B+. Good draft all around. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's the South.
Falcons, like you said, very surprising picks. And I think like they settled for defensive edge like Braylon Trice and Brandon Dorlus, and it's like they were two of the guys that were like towards the bottom of our list that might have been even honorable mentions.
Yeah, which there's still top 10 pass rushers in a class that was good. Yeah. I mean, 4 guys went in the first round.
I don't see them as being like the instant impact guys that they needed. And I just think as a Falcons fan, you should be upset with that pick because like you're expecting a defensive edge or interior rusher guy that can get to the quarterback. Like that's what you need.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Right now, because
in 2-3 years, it could be a little different.
I know we're going to talk about it in a little bit. But anyways, let me get into NFC North, or if I like to call it Hammer's favorite division. So first team on the list. All right, shut up. Anyways, first team on the list, we got the Bears. With Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, and then they only had 2 other picks. One was a punter, Trey Taylor or Troy Taylor. Something.
They had 3 other picks.
They had 2 other picks. They had 4 picks total.
5.
I thought they had 4. I can swear it's 4.
5. They traded back up.
No, they traded back up, but they didn't get anyone. Like, okay.
Yeah, Austin Booker was good.
2 notable guys. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze. That's all you need for A+. And I'll give him an A. I would say A+, but Hammer doesn't like the A+, so I'm just going to give him an A.
I just don't believe in it.
Like, these 2 picks right here, I'm surprised. I mean, Rome, obviously, we all mocked it, like him falling to them because no one else really needed him in before they picked. But those 2 paired up as well as everything else that Chicago has up there, I think that offense is ready to go. It might not be immediate success. Obviously, Caleb's a rookie, so he's going to adjust a little bit to the NFL. But in the next few years, I think there'd be a solid offense, 100%.
Or it may not happen at all. We'll see.
Yeah,
it's the Bears.
It is the Bears.
They could very well stink it up.
We'll wait. Then the Lions with Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, and Christian Mahogany in the later rounds. There was one of the guys. I think we had him at number 3 on our interior O-line. Hammers worked out with the guy, knows him a little bit. So that's pretty cool. But I think I'm going to give him a A-. I think it's a solid class. Nothing like insane. I think Terrion Arnold's a great starting.
Rakestraw's an awesome pick in the second round too.
Because he's a little bit more. I don't think he's like.
He's a nickel.
He's not as ready in the NFL, but I think he's still going to excel pretty quickly. I think he's going to learn pretty quick and be a solid starter for them. Then the Packers come in. Jordan Morgan, Edgerrin Cooper, however you pronounce that, Javon Bullard, and Marshawn Lloyd. 4 instant start. Marshawn Lloyd's like going to be a double-headed monster.
Super Bowl incoming.
But I'm going to give him an A+. I know Hammer's going to need new pants in a little bit.
A+. Better than I gave him.
But Jordan Morgan, obviously, I think that one's like the kind of like
a little bit of a reach.
Surprising / reach pick. But Edgerrin Cooper, number 1 linebacker in this class, instantly a starter for them, I believe. And I think he's going to be able to do a little bit of everything. Javon Bullard was probably my favorite safety in the class, just off of watching his tape, everything like that. His energy that he brings to the field, I love it. And he was a part of a Georgia defense that was insane. So obviously he's doing something right. Then Marshawn Lloyd, his athleticism and the way he runs on the field, like he has like the running motion of Isaiah Pacheco. Like I was watching, like he just kind of like he runs like way harder, like than it looks like he's going, but the guy's an animal, and I love that. I think him paired up with Josh Jacobs is going to be great for the Packers fans, including yourself, Hammer. Anyways, next we got the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner in the first round. They're 2 real only picks that I think are like anything crazy, and I'm going to give them a B+ because I think Dallas Turner's a steal for them. Obviously, no one expected him to fall that far. That's instantly a great pick. And then J.J. McCarthy fits right into that systematic scheme. I think he has the weapons, so I think he'll succeed pretty well. Hot take of the day yesterday, or 2 days ago now, would be that he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So solid picks all around for the NFC. I think all NFC teams we talked about, we had pretty solid draft classes. So NFC's on the come up. The AFC is no longer going to be the best conference in a few years, hopefully. But we'll see how that pans out. Starting off with my surprise / what the hell moment of the draft, Michael Penix to the Falcons. As a Saints fan, I couldn't be happier with the pick for the Falcons. I couldn't be more upset for the pick for the player. So the Falcons, obviously, they're coming to this draft. Falcons fans are hyped. They're like, we're winning the division. We got a shot at the Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins is here. And we're going to get a defensive player. We're going to be good on both sides. And they come into the pick, and they announce Michael Penix Jr. I'm sitting there with my dad. What? This doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And obviously, everyone's minds goes back a few years to the Packers with Jordan Love, picking him to kind of succeed Aaron Rodgers. But in this situation, it's not the same. You just signed Kirk Cousins, but he hasn't played it all yet. You paid him a shit ton of money, and a lot of it guaranteed. And it's not like Aaron Rodgers, who's been there for however many years with the Packers, has had some conflicts with the team, has kind of signaled that he's going to be leaving relatively soon. There's no reason to take a quarterback here this early in the draft. This early in the draft, you have to pay him a lot more than you would later in later rounds, first of all. Second of all, Michael Penix is obviously a solid pick, but he's a guy that, like, I just feel bad for. Like, he should be the starter for the Raiders right now. As soon as he's picked, he's the starter in at least week 1 or in a few weeks after they let him sit under Gardner Minshew for a couple weeks, whatever. So I feel bad for the guy, and I just think the Falcons are a little bit of a laughing stock right now, especially after they traded up. I think they traded up for Rook Ororo out of Clemson, which was surprising as well. I'm like, why? Like, you didn't need to trade up for him. You could have gotten him where you were at. Like, I just don't understand their philosophy of what they were doing with these picks. Obviously, Terry Fontenot is old Saints front office guy, and I respect them, but I just think the Michael Penix pick doesn't make sense for them.
Yeah, and I get that. The thing you said about paying the money, maybe paying him a lot of money as a 8th overall pick. Well, I mean, like, I think that was their guy, right? That was the number 2 quarterback on their board behind Caleb Williams. And if you trade back, you're not getting him because he's going to the Raiders. And if it's your guy and you love this guy and you think this guy can win you a Super Bowl, then you're going to take him. And I know you just got Kirk Cousins, but it also gives you a good opportunity to sit him and let him learn from Kirk Cousins, a guy who has had a really good career in the NFL. And like, there's positives to that because, if you were going in, let's say, like with Desmond Riddler or, Marcus Mariota the season before, and you got Penix, right? You can be like, all right, we're going to sit Penix. Well, no, he's going in week 6 because you guys are going to stink it up. Quarterback's going to stink. You're going to throw him right in. When you have Kirk Cousins, right? You're not pulling Kirk Cousins. He's going to be a good quarterback, right? Unless he gets injured, God forbid, right? We don't wish injuries upon anyone. But, like, you have that really, high standard, that lock at quarterback that, like, you're not going to feel pressure to put Penix in. He can really sit and learn and watch. And, I know you like Penix a lot. I like Penix. He is on the older side. He has had some injury problems. But,
yeah,
I mean, you know what? For me as a Packer fan, I'm going to be a little biased and just be like, only time will tell. You got to wait it out and see what happens, because it worked out for me twice. So, you know what? They said they're going to follow the Green Bay model. Let's see. Let's just see what happens, we'll report back in 2 years, 3 years and see what's up.
Yeah. And
that's how you have to play it out right now.
I mentioned the age thing, and I think that's important to mention. Like, this guy's the second oldest quarterback in the draft, I believe.
Yeah.
After you sit him for 3-4 years under Kirk Cousins, he's going to be like 27, 28, 29, 27, 28 more likely. But, like, I don't see that being something that's like a great pick for a team this early in the draft with this context. Like, I don't think it's worth the outcome that you could get when you're on your Super Bowl.
Well, and if you win a Super Bowl, it doesn't really matter what you do. The Rams, this was their first round pick since 2016. So it's been 8 years since they had a first round pick, but they won a Super Bowl because of it. So that makes it all worth it. I don't care. I would give away 8 first-round picks to win a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, if you trade it, but they're trading for a guy that they knew could be a star. They traded for Matt Stafford, who's like, he's already an established quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I know.
But like, that's what I'm saying. You're throwing away this pick for Michael Penix that might work 4 years down the road when you might you get an edge rusher, Dallas Turner, or whoever you liked in this draft, you get him immediately. Your team's instantly that much better on defense, and you're excelling right away. It's just
Penix has a higher ceiling than Dallas Turner.
It's just I don't know. I don't know if you could say that.
I think you can.
But anyways, what's your surprise, Hammer? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna go JC Latham. I didn't really understand the pick. We both had him as I think a 4th, 5th tackle. I don't know when you got a big dude like Olu, when you got Talise Frawaga, who I really liked, he was my number 2 tackle. For Titans who are going for physicality, big boys up front, I get JC's a massive human being, but I thought there were better options. I thought it was a reach. They could have traded back too. And on top of that too, T'Vondre Sweat, like I mentioned, I just thought 2 reaches. I was just like, what? When I saw Sweat in the 2nd round, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That guy, I thought he was going to be like a first round pick in the 4th round, like first overall pick in the 4th round or something. I don't know. So yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah.
And then what would be your steal?
Yeah, for steals, it's got to be Johnny Newton for Commanders. So I mean, I'm sitting there at work. I was working the second night of the draft. I'm sitting there, the TV's on, and I see Johnny Newton Commanders. I'm like, how the hell did he fall to them? Like, this is a guy I was thinking was going to be first, 2nd pick of the 2nd round.
He was falling though. I knew that.
Oh, the Commanders, and this is a guy who I think is going to be explosive in the league. I think he fits perfectly with the Commanders. What they're trying to do with Robert Quinn over there, and I just think it's a great pick. I think he's going to excel pretty well in the NFL. And I there was no second chance or second thought in their mind when they saw him still available. I think they just instantly knew they were going to take him. So I love the pick.
Yeah, mine would be 2 players. Jen Hicks goes in the 4th round to the Chiefs. Chiefs got another one. Steal. I love him. I love his tape. I love the way he plays, the physicality, the energy that he brings to the defensive side of the ball. A guy that I wanted Green Bay to take. I get taking Javon Bullard instead, though. He's more versatile, and plus Green Bay loves the Georgia players like Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Hicks was an awesome pick. And then TJ Tampa, too, from Iowa State. He went in the 4th, 5th round to the Ravens. I love that pick for the Ravens. He's a really physical press man corner. A guy that, honestly, I think what was it? I think maybe March. He was getting mocked to like early 2nd round, even late 1st round to like the Niners at like 31. I like TJ Tampa a lot. I don't know why he fell to the 4th, 5th round, wherever he got picked, but that was a steal. So 2 defensive backs, those are steals for me. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Jenks, anything you want to say?
No, I think so. Exciting things coming out on I think we're gonna release either Thursday or Friday, whenever we get the chance. Because I know I'm doing finals on Thursday. Hammer might be finals coming up, so we're just a little bit busy the next couple weeks. But we got solo episodes coming out. I'm gonna do Saints talk. Hammer's gonna talk about the Packers draft. It's gonna be an exciting I think next few months we're gonna try to figure that out, how to do like solo episodes, kind of talk more about our teams, because we've said before, like, we're Saints Packers fans diehard. We want to talk about them a little bit more. And with these episodes, we've kind of just been doing general NFL talk. So we're going to figure out a way to kind of do a little bit more of our teams in the next few months.
Yeah. And I think next week, probably next Thursday, I would guess, I think it's going to be the 9th schedule release will come out. So that would be cool. We'll kind of break down the schedules. I think for next week's episode, we'll kind of be doing our power rankings again, post-draft, giving you guys an updated list. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for the next couple of weeks, along with some solo episodes featuring more in depth about the Packers and Saints. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys a little later this week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack go!